it's time for me to expose my hair to a new style. Or I may just amp up the current style that I have now. I have my rice water. This works wonders when it comes to hair growth. And I like to surface this in. And I'll also be discussing the Black Mirror episode, Bete, Noire. This episode was very entertaining. This episode was about a woman that was in her field of study, and she seemed to be quite a whiz kid, whiz kid, whiz kid, but she was also very beautiful as well. And she seems to be at the top of her league at work. But then one of her classmates from high school shows up at her employer. She's apparently in a work field where certain chocolates or sweets get sampled. But we all know that Black Mirror sometimes is set in times that are futuristic, and it did look like some futuristic establishment, and we're sampling maybe going in the foreseeing future. It also seemed to have something to do with the lines of tech. This episode was quite mysterious, so all those mystery lovers and what's next babes, this episode was definitely up your alley. So there were certain occurrences that happened throughout the episode dealing with her old high school mate. And she also had a boyfriend. So one of the first occurrences that occurred within a scene was when her classmate came in and discussed with her about a job opportunity. She, being pretty much really high in the hierarchy of her position, she knew what job openings were available, and the job that was brought to her attention by her old high school mate was not one of those jobs. But the next time she checked the website, the job was actually there. And it grew to be quite odd to her, especially when she saw her high school mate actually doing an interview. And she didn't really feel that she possessed skills for this particular school. And throughout the episode, other strange occurrences that only she could see was happening, and it did surround around her high school mate. And one of the other occurrences was the fact that she knew the name of where her boyfriend used to work. It was a restaurant. But somehow the name actually changed. And she was so sure of herself of what the name was that she looked it up. But it turns out that what her ex high school mate stated the name to be was what was showing on the internet after it was searched. And everybody agreed that that name from the internet was indeed true. So our main character was still very sure of herself that she pulled out a piece of uniform that her boyfriend used to have, and that name also apparently was the name that was on the internet and not what the original name was that she knew it to be. This episode had a lot of mysterious twists where you did not know if the main character was going insane. But it also showed that she was a lot smarter. And she was a fighter, not the type to ever give up on something that she thought she knew. Well, you guys, it's time to wash my hair. I shall return. Okay, you guys, we are ready to style. And talk about Bete, Noire, Bete, Noelle, Bete, Noelle, the Black Mirror episode of the season 7 series, episode 2. So as this episode unfolded, we came to find out that the main character's high school classmate was the cause of certain strange occurrences. And it led to her actually losing her job as she attacked her ex-classmate. scenes within life. In reality itself. One of the last scenes before the main character got counseled at her job and had to actually leave the job was a scene where she was told by her high school classmate that she remembers a time where she got picked on, and she proceeded to drink from a milk carton that was labeled from another coworker. And she drank all the milk and threw the carton on the floor as the other coworkers came in and saw that the milk had been drunk and it was someone else's property in the refrigerator. So the main character saw and witnessed her high school classmate drinking the milk, drinking the milk, drinking the milk. But her high school classmate stated that she was the one, in fact, that drank the milk. So they looked at the video cameras that were in the office, and it showed that the main character was drinking the milk out of the carton from this video feed. So, being that our main character is quite smart and she catches on quickly, she noticed that her ex-classmate was tugging on her necklace as certain strange occurrences was happening throughout the office. And it triggered her to try to approach her high school classmate with an aggressive nature of trying to get to this amulet that apparently was causing these certain scenes to happen. But before she could, she did get restrained from the other workers. There was also a scene where the main character was trying to get a hold of one of her classmates that went to school with them, her, as well as the classmate that has been working with her. She was not able to get in contact with her, but found out later within the episode that her classmate had passed away. She had actually unalived herself. And she asked her classmate's boyfriend about the certain occurrences that she was experiencing, if in fact she had experienced those, and it came to find out that she did. And during that time, was going on. She broke into her now co-worker slash high school classmate's house. This house had so many different forms of things that did not quite make sense. Like it showed a picture of her classmate that seemed to be from quite some time ago. And it looked just like her. So, as she had been found out before that, she was able to retrieve the locket that the classmate was holding on to. And as everything unfolded, apparently the main character was one of the bullies that used to bully her high school classmate. And this whole time, she was trying to exact revenge upon those that had defiled her in the past. The actual locket held a power that, from what was computer generated, where she could change certain things on the surface level of life itself and totally change the whole reality. So, as this was found out, our classmate and the main character began to tussle with each other until the classmate used her locket to call the police and to try to frame our main character. But during that time, our main character was able to retrieve a gun from the pocket of one of the officers that were about to handcuff her and take her to jail. And she shot her ex-classmate. Shot and killed her. And then it became a quite tussle between her and the cops until she was able to grab onto the locket that was in her dead classmate's hand. And during that time, she used the locket to get the police off her back, as well as she became the Empress of the Universe. It was such an intriguing and suspenseful episode. I loved every moment of it. I really enjoyed that the main character, even though she turned out to actually be the reason that caused the classmate to really lose her mind about being bullied, but I love that she was able to outwit her classmate and just explore the option of becoming the center of the universe. It was just a very fun episode, and I recommend that you check it out. Please let me know what you think about the episode as well. This was one of my most favorite episodes of the Black Mirror series. much for joining me